What it do, family? Y'all know what it is, man. It's truth in the building. You know what I'm talking about? I know y'all seen that old thumbnail. You know what I mean? Want to know what's going on with old Miss Felisha with Miss old Crockett. We're about to get to that in just a second. You know what I mean? I wanted to bring y'all by. Let y'all stop by, man. Check out a little of this music before we get going. You know what I'm talking about? This one, this one. This one probably, you know what I'm talking about. I throw it a couple of shots. I mean, they ain't directly at old Miss Crockett or nothing like this. The song just makes sense. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna let y'all check this out, and then we gonna get on to it. You know what I mean. In the meantime, grab what you gonna grab. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drink. Grab your smoke. Whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm talking about. Know that this finna be a good one. You know what I mean? So we gonna let y'all go with this, man. This one, the blues, man. Check it out, man. Y'all know what it is. Both tried.
Laser out of spaceship. Wide links like it's glass.
It's true for one ENT. Yeah. I'm from the jungle, gorillas don't fumble, you niggas just lack. Most of your pain stuck in your mirror, you looking at backwards. Why the fuck you ain't rich as these past? I'm gonna keep whipping these classics off in this hoe, I'm gonna give me some action. Put no faction, niggas just act. How much I be stacking, spinning my records, you see they reacting. Dealing with peasants, I fuck with a legend, they do it for chicks, I do it for passion. Give you my heart in the midst of me passing by. What this is to be crashing now? Who the fuck I deal with now? It's that same motherfucker who casting down. Go sell they ass for clap. Give a fuck less about what they passing out. These hoes gon' tell who cashing out. How the fuck you the master now? Ain't hearing that shit, you be mumbling. Fresh out the gate, you be stumbling. He bought him a hit if you wondering. You give him a pin, you gon' humble him. Yo, threading that bitch. I need me a check in that bitch and I'm coming for number. Don't question this shit. I go to the depth of the bitch and I come from up under. Yeah, I highly respected little bitch and I come from up under. Slung on them corners to give me 100. I get in that bitch, I'ma see how to run it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Troop for one in the building, man. Shout out. You know what I'm talking about? Foes up, foes up. But yeah, man, what we came in here to get to talking and get to rapping about today is your girl Jasmine Crockett. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Miss Jazz. Miss Felicia's what we know about. You know what I mean? And it's some things that that I believe that's just a little bit, to her disadvantage in this Senate race that she called herself for taking in. It's a couple of moves that she made early on in her career that hasn't allowed for the mainstream and for the people, to actually take a liking into her. And we're going to bring some of those things out today. Some, unfavorable moments of her. And, we going to hold it up for scrutiny is what we do. As I had mentioned earlier, you know what I mean, Miss Jasmine Felisha Crockett is from my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to the 314, the foe. And she was brought up in the opposite of what you would think as far as the inner city. It really wasn't no hard knocks, no hard life for her. She was awarded private schools from grade school on up, I believe. Ended up going to was the Mary Institute, I believe, and then St. Louis St. Louis County Day. These are prestigious private schools in St. Louis, Missouri. Only the upper the echelon, those with that bag, uh, get um, to attend these schools, and they're highly prestigious. And like I said, given her parents were both pastors, this made it affordable for her, and they made it, for their baby to be able to get the best of the education. Okay, so we gonna give that to her. Okay, and that's another reason of why I question what we see today is because we know that the way and the upbringing of Miss Crockett is contrary and opposite to the attitude that she displays within the U.S. Congress, um, as far as her verbiage and her semantics and her way with words. You know, people remember Miss Crockett as you know back in her college days and paralegal days and I wouldn't say paralegal. She ended up becoming a public defender. I'm assuming she went to law school and things of that nature. She went on to try to run for district attorney and that didn't go through for down in Bowie County. I believe it was that she tried to run for district attorney and didn't win that. But she has, a lawyer type of background, and it's things that we know now today to be called legalese. Um, it's lawyer trick play. It's lawyer trick word play. Things that seem to be the same and are not the same when it's legal and when it's actually dealing with uh, you know individuals and citizens. It's a different type of framework of words. So she's been trained very well in that. I don't know how much formal political science training she has, and from that point, um, you know, um, I can see where uh, President Donald Trump calls her a person of low IQ, because from the political science standpoint, she does have a low IQ compared to what I've seen in my 40 plus years of watching and probably 30 some odd years of understanding the political scene. Um, she doesn't seem to resonate with the people in a way to where she will become a elevated politician. Um, so, she has an uphill battle. And, again, we don't want to hold, her parents' success against her, but the people would rather see and hear uh, that Jasmine Crockett of the education, that Jasmine Crockett of positive, you know, uh, will, positive upbringing, positive impacts toward the community, positive things that you can bring, to the people and to your constituents. Uh, what you've turned to uh, has been the opposite. It's been negative, ghetto, um, high-minded, high-roaded type of entryway into these politics. And to be quite frank, you didn't get there because of that attitude. It's almost if that you knew how to navigate through the ways and the atmospheres and the halls to be able to get to that position by quietly keeping that you show now back, keeping it furbered in and boggled down to the extent. But now that you've received honors in Congress, it feels as if now we're seeing a real you. Now you're letting your hair down and letting people know how you actually really feel. And if that's the case, that's what American people really have to make in the adjustment and a decision on um, how they're going to look at you going forward in this race. Okay, we got some things here. I'm not going to go too deep off into it. There's a couple of situations that you've put yourself into that you're going to have to climb your way out of. Um, you know, I got to, and I don't think we're probably going to be able to get into all that, but as it comes up, I'll do some stopping along the way and a little commentary and see what we got going on. But what we finna do here now, Miss Felicia, what we finna do here now is we're about to get to you. We're about to let you say it. We're about to let you spill it. Um, we're going to see how it is that you respond. What is it that your message is? You know, um, how you really are. You know, albeit you've given us quite the stir, quite the entertainment round, uh, quite the you know uh, word drama. But you lack substance in anything that you could bring forward uh, to the Congress itself, along with you know the Senate. And that's a big boys game. You get off into the Senate. So here it is. Like I said, we're about to let you see you, and then after you see things like this and hear a lot about you in the news lately because you decided to make this run, we want to see your resilience and how you're going to deflect and redirect these things into a positive way that helps you in the future, become a better person, politician, to know that, negative uh, tones and negative spewing at your opposition um, does nothing but bring negativity. It breeds it. It brings it to you. You open your door for this, you know, and you don't close the window. You just keep it going. You don't double back and apologize. Everybody makes mistakes. It's never a fool to be able to admit, hey, maybe I misspoke, maybe I was wrong, maybe it's certain things that you just don't say, and until people can see, that you have that in you, that you feel deeply passionate enough to be able to apologize and to take back or step back on some of the things that you say, given the climate, then people would automatically understand that you are not mature enough to take on these type of tasks that you're asking the American people to entrust you with. So with that being said, like I said, we got one here. Um and we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it roll. We're gonna let you say what you say. Like I say, man, y'all get y'all popcorn, y'all sit on back. Y'all just hear what she say.
You okay with punching? It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him. Like,
Clarify your comments.
as you can see,
Congressman, will you condone violence at the test?
Look, you see that, man? You feel me? She come out the room. Hold on, let me run it back. She come out the room. She ha-hawking and he-hawking with, with a white constituent, with a white partner, rubbing elbows, smushing elbows is what they would say. And it has nothing to do with race. You know what I mean? But she's showing who she is. She come out and she ha-hawking, and he says, good luck. The one she's talking to says, good luck. Then this reporter come out, ask a question. Hey, why you doing all of that? Is you going to condone violence? Is you going to condone violence on the people that, and before he can get it out of her mouth, she smushed him, pushed them all in his face. You get what I mean? Like, first off, that's a constitutional violation right there. You know what I mean? That man is a reporter, live reporter, got a First Amendment right and he's obviously exercising that right and has right to be in there to be able to film you in the course of your duties. You're a political figure. It doesn't stop with just the police being able to be photographed and recorded in the course of their duties. You in the course of your duties. And just like the police don't have no right to take nobody's phone, snatch nobody's phone, that's a civil rights violation. Okay? According to the freedom of press, which he is press. Okay? Any hindrance to that? You know what I mean? Knowing, and you a public official. You get what I mean? Like, these are little small things that, you know what I mean? I don't know if he hit you with it, but you should have been hit with that lawsuit right there. Just on the strength, you don't grab nobody nothing. Okay? That's not how we do things in America. That doesn't show transparency. That doesn't show that you are ready and qualified and fit for this job. That show, get out my motherfucking face. That's what that show to the American people. I don't like what you saying, get the fuck out my face. You could have just ignored them, just like everybody else do.
Like, there is no niceties with him. You punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head like hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him. Like,
Clarify your comments.
As you can see.
Congressman, will you condone violence at the test?
I absolutely believe that we can make it. Listen, we earned the plurality. We won just about every single precinct in District 30. And so I fully anticipate, so long as people know that it's time to go back out, they know who's qualified, they know who's ready, they know who's already served the district.
And because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey.
Right. Did you guys hear it? Did you hear it? See, the first Jasmine Crockett was the Jasmine Crockett that really would have had a chance to win at Senate had she have been that Jasmine Crockett. But this motherfucker right here, you see her whole dress attire. Look at her. She comfortable. You got what I'm trying to tell you when I said what I said. You done got in there and let your hair down. And what you don't know about these parties and these politicians is that they will rock your ass to sleep. They will make you think that what you think you got going on is a progressive and a good and a great idea, and what is going on is going to be popping, and rock your dumb ass to sleep. And here you is wanting to go apply for these positions and these committee. No, we got somebody else to look more qualified. No, just fall back. We got something better for you. Gassing you up. Kamala Harris and all this, they rocked you to sleep. They didn't want to see. They were scared of the first one. Let's show her again. Let's get back to her. Come on, yeah. They ain't want to see this one. You see what I'm saying? I would rather had seen this Jasmine Crockett. What happened to her? Because that's not the same one that's fit to flip on us right here. And they call this privileged roots. These are the privileged roots from Rosada Khan and Mary Institute and St. Louis County Day. This is what you paid for. $50,000 a year. $50,000 a year. 4 years, that's $200,000. These motherfuckers out here ain't even making $50,000 a year. Yo, people sending you to school and paying that. Not for you to be like this one. For you to be like her. This Jasmine.
In District 30. And so I fully anticipate, so long as people know that it's time to go back out, they know who's qualified, they know who's ready, they know who's already served the district.
And
you see that? They know who's already the soft-spoken, the one who's talking to the people like you. They care. They know you, but you got in. You got in now. Now we got this.
because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Fake ghetto Jasmine. Governor Hot Wheels. You done called this man the governor of Texas. Governor Abbott, you done called this man who's been paralyzed for 40 years running. He's been paralyzed for 40 years now. Her running Texas, the governor of Texas. You call this man Mr. Hot Wheels because he's in a wheelchair. And you think that these people are really going to approve and forget and allow you to be able to come on with this type of rhetoric? Like, who is this? I don't know if this is the Democratic trick tactic that they use in order to try to sway voters, but this is not working. This has not worked. When it did work, they tricked us. From Clinton to Barack to Biden. Kamala tried it. No. We look at her. You see what I'm saying? And then you come with the same trick, one trick pony show. Come on now. You'd have been better off being the privileged Jasmine Crockett. Not this right here. This right here is where you hit an all-time low. But guess what? Your people around you, those Democrats, they didn't tell you to bag out of it and you know what I'm talking about? They distance themselves from you, but they let you hang your own self.
And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
Jasmine. Where are your standards? Where's your class? Every time you show up on TV now, all you do is cussing and belittling and trying to get the next hot sound bite instead of saying something meaningful and productive and helpful. Why do people big up this type of behavior? It is disgusting. Your parents spent all that money to get you a quality education that you claim to want for all kids. And then you get to the United States Office of Congress and you act like a complete ignorant buffoon. So you had your little 15 minutes of fame and you saw that it did you good. So your plan is now just to keep doing that. I mean, what kind of inspiration are you for young girls? What are you really saying? Why is this behavior being uplifted? I will never understand it. I will not understand it. It's not even real. What is up with this? The AOCs, the Kamala Harris, the Hillary Clinton, every time they get a moment, y'all want to go ghetto. What is up with the whole wanting to big up going ghetto? Like, ew.
Look, you know what I'm talking about? We got a little buffering issues, you know what I'm talking about? But y'all with me, y'all understand what the hell going on, you know what I'm talking about? And with any donations and anything that y'all can help me with and help us with this channel, that would, really just pretty much, increase the type of content and things that we got going on. You know what I mean? We can invest in stronger Wi-Fi signal, stronger this, stronger that. But, like I say, I ain't asking y'all for nothing. Just like it. Like it and share it. You know what I'm talking about? But as y'all can see, we getting it out the mud. You feel what I'm saying? This ain't that. You know what I mean? This ain't that. You know what I'm talking about? We right here. We ain't got the big wooty wop and booty bop and booty bam. You know what I mean? I can get on here and create fake backgrounds and act like we really got it and we going. But no, we getting it out the mud. And that's why I'm trying to see, is Miss Jasmine Crockett going to get it out the mud? You know what I mean? Is she going to get it out the mud or is she going to keep gaslighting? You see what I mean? Because the thing about the situation is that you can only gaslight how you gonna gaslight. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep it real, Miss Crockett. The only reason that you're running for Senate right now is because you know that your House of Representatives seat is pretty much a wrap because of the redistricting. Okay? Your House seat is a wrap. We understand it. We get it. You see what I'm saying? thing about the situation is that had you not put yourself in this situation from the beginning with this switcheroo politics and personality, this Jekyll and Hyde that you got going on, things may have played out in a different format for you. You get what I mean? If you would have had some more political training and coaching along the way, things would have worked out a lot different for you, Miss Crockett. We understand that you got into this thing because of the DEI. You know, I'm here because, you know, the white man and they didn't want to see a black woman get hurt. You know what I mean? That's the attitude and the talk. That's the reasoning of the seasoning of why you feel like you got to step on shit. You get what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the integrity of America. It has nothing to do with bringing the brotherhood or the sisterhood of America and the fabric of America together, you know, to show these Elon Ilhan Omars and you know other people, demographics and nations that come to the country. If we as the black people not second in command after the white folk, then it's a real problem. Okay? It's real deal. We're not going to go off into the fact of who was here first. We saying since it's been set up, we understand our place. This is what y'all give us. We know we kings. We know what we do. But politics ain't the time for that. But if you not standing and setting a standard that's second, contrary, if not first. But again, this is their world. This is their politics. This is their George Washingtons. This is their Benjamin Franklins. This is their Thomas Jeffersons. You get what I'm saying? So to go along with it, with all due respect, if you're not setting a standard to be the best, most executive and make them at they high levels look and appreciate where we done came, what we got to offer, and what we standing on, and what we presenting as our best when we saying we want these people to represent us. That's what it goes down to. That's how much respect that they give you when it's coming down time to polling and to being able to be polled and people voting on them. They looking at the best formula, the best outfit of the makeup of the character of the candidate that's going to best represent us up in those high places. That's what it come down to. Honest integrity. You know, everybody got ways about them, but your ways ought not be seen in public. You ought not be out here calling this man Governor Hot Wheels. It's in no way, shape, and form that should be allowed for you to feel that you can say, given that the governor is in the state that you are in, forget if it's a state that you're in. This man got a paralyzation and a disability from a freak accident, some out of his control, regardless if it was not. Who are you? You showed in like when Marjorie Taylor said something about your cumbrellas. Well, that's what the old school call them, you know, them bat wings you got in your face. We saw on the first video of you didn't have that. You probably had a few extent, but you didn't have that. It was a major difference, Felisha. We call you Felisha around here, man. You got to get some get right. The real you coming out, that St. Louis shit that you wanted to be, because now you comfortable. See, I knew it early on. What you did is that you elbowed and you privied and prissied your way there. You act like you were this girl that your parents paid for you to go to school, and you did what you were supposed to do, and people respected that, and they got you in a higher place, and they got you through there, and they got you, and then you became a lawyer, and you start to see and start rubbing elbows and got so in it, and got you start making money, and you know what I'm saying, you start insider trading. You know what I'm talking about? And shit like that. Once you got in Congress, you know what I mean? You start getting into the good old boys games. You get what I'm saying? And the little shit that they leave on, the crumbs that they leave on the table for us there is way more gratifying than where you come from. You get what I'm saying? So you eating crumbs from the table, and then you talking as if they not feeding you. As if you don't have dirt, like you ain't washed all your dishes. The kitchen is not clean. Before you get to talking about running for Senate, clean the kitchen. We got more things on you. We just gonna let this go. You know, we don't like being gaslighted. The American people. See, I can pull up videos of them dogging you behind the way that you responded. But I want to give my interpretation on it, but I want the people to hear exactly how you tried to gaslight them by how you said what you said, using your, uh, democratic war tactic, your political war tactic, things that you use, especially being a lawyer. And that goes back with the semantics that I was telling you about and the legal ease that people need to understand. You get what I'm saying? Like you can say words as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, as a lawyer that will get a person the electric chair because you posed the thought there when the thought was not the fact. It had nothing to do with what was going on, but it was, well, just in case, then this could have caused the murder of this and this and this. You get what I'm saying? And that's hearsay in court. But once a juror hears something, they can't unhear it. I don't care if it's stricken down. Once a juror hears a certain way of something that's being, they can't unhear that. Can't no judge tell you to unremember a damn thing. No man in the world can tell no man to unremember shit. That's fact of law. So that part of the law is where the whole world is fucked up at. But that's another subject. But we want to use that because you are an officer of the court. And you understand this wordplay. And you understand these phrases and techniques and ways that things can be construed and misconstrued to be a thing or two. And there's rules that you have to play in court in order not to go out of bounds of those rules. But since you're not in court, you get what I mean? You can use those rules at your favor when you playing political war, when you punching in political war, when you know you down and behind the bag in political war. You see what I'm saying? So we're not going to go off into the high-ranking member of who this happened about how she was sitting back texting Epstein and all this and all that. That's another subject. That's another one of your power players, ranking member that's in a house. You get what I mean? So these are things that we as American people need to understand what you mean when you say you do these things and say that you're about these things.
Bill has now made its way there. It has started a 30-day clock for the Justice Department to release the Epstein files they have in their possession. That comes as the top Democrat in the Senate is making.
Seems like he consistently wants to give a pass so long as someone is a follower of his. That's their race, no matter their political affiliation, and no matter how much money they do or don't have in the bank account.
So you're saying, yeah, you don't care even if it doesn't.
I don't
Go.
care.
Democrats.
I don't care. That's not what this is about. To me, it's
we
not
go.
political. We need to make sure that we understand how it was that this was able to take place, and we need to make sure that we tear down those structures. We have an obligation as legislators to make sure that we do better by the people in this country. We need to make sure that there are no other children that end up in similar circumstances, whether Jeffrey Epstein is alive or dead.
I like
we
that.
need to make sure, because it wasn't just one man.
I like that.
This was a system, a sophisticated system that was set up, and so we need to make sure that there are no other victims going forward.
One Democrat
Okay,
who's been
she
on
good
defense
for
over
that.
Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett. She
Yeah.
represents the Virgin Islands.
Stacey.
She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC.
Uh-oh. This is my problem. And she finna get on it. But this is what I was talking about the semantics. Okay? Catch her when just catch her in the beginning. This is what we talking about that we want to be a senator, though. Right? This is what we talking about. Look at her face. Look, I just happened to catch that. All right? Y'all see that? She's highly pissed at this point. You see, look, God don't let nothing slide. You get what I'm saying? Look at her. She's highly pissed at this point. You know? And I would be too if I knew that I purposely did this to gaslight the American people. I would be highly pissed if you caught me out and called me in this. But you put yourself in this position, baby girl. And you said it. The reason why what you were about to tell her is the truth, and you knew what you were doing by doing it. You can't use the fact that, oh, well, my staff gave it to me real quick, and I didn't know if it was if Jeffrey Epstein, but if you didn't know if it was the Jeffrey Epstein, but it gained you political advantage and political talking points for you to say such a name, since we talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And you know one of your ranking members has just been called out for texting Jeffrey Epstein during Comey's hearing, a Democratic high-ranking member. Your comrade, one you see often, if not every day, when you doing your judicial duties in Congress or your legislative duties in Congress, mind you. So you mean to tell me that you just happen to just kind of say this like this, or was this your whole intention, period? Listen to this shit.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein,
Somebody.
as I had my team dig in very quickly.
As I had my
Mitt
team
Romney,
dig in. Look at
the
her. You heard her? As I had my team dig in very quickly. This type of gangsta-ass rhetoric, you remind me of that crooked mayor from Thornton, Tiffany Henyard. You one of them. Low key, you a Tiffany Henyard. The same type of political character. You see what I'm saying? But you just do it because you're not in a township. You on Congress, so you got to play by certain other rules. But you still do it. Look at Tiffany Henyard and then look at you and tell me that it's a difference.
RCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just
Look
so that
at
people
him.
understand, when you make a donation, your picture is
Hold
not
on.
there.
Hold
and
the
because
fuck
they
on.
decided to
Hold on. So I want y'all to run through this motherfucking lie that we finna listen to right now, that you finna try to cast up on us. Words are spell. Understand what the fuck goes on. First off, you just sat here and said, okay, she asked you, do you want to recant what you said? In humbleness of this man's name that you just shitted on, you should have apologized for putting him in anything. First and foremost. Once you found out that there wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, he got hard enough problems dealing with the fact that he got the same name as this motherfucker. So you mean to tell me that out of your generosity in your heart, the lack thereof that you have, you couldn't even reach out and apologize on the behalf of your people and your cabinet or whatever, your staff that you said that, you know, gathered this, that you summoned your staff together to come up real quickly with Mr. Epstein? Yeah, but you made sure that you said someone named Jeffrey Epstein, which let me know that you knew that it wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein. You wouldn't have said someone named Jeffrey Epstein if in your heart and mind you knew that this was not the Jeffrey. That's what gave you the lawyer semantic get out of the way card. That's the shit that get people life in jail. That shit that you just said right the fuck there. Right there. Lawyer. Knowing the rules of engagement in the courtrooms. Knowing the perception. Knowing what it was. You admitted out your mouth and then you finna try to come and clean it up and say, oh, that's why I said Jeffrey Epstein. So, bitch, that means you knew that it wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein when you said it because you didn't want to get caught in this later on. So now the later on is happening and you showing us that you a wicked, deceptive, verbalizationist type of politician that will go through any means, even if it means the turn down of an innocent man who had nothing to do with this. Same name. Ironic. But she asked you, do you want to clear it up? Look at your response when she said, do you want to clear it up? This is what shows the character in the heart of a person. This is why I don't fuck with you. One reason.
at Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there.
There, he's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign.
And she laughed. Yes, Jasmine, yes, Crockett. A physician named Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who is totally a different person other than Jeffrey Epstein, donated to a prior campaign of mine. No freaking relation. You genius. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens, man. But then listen to you. I guess because you see the text, it hurt your feelings. Listen to your backup. Listen to your commentary. Listen to the generosity in your heart. Listen to the humbleness. Listen to what the people should expect from you. Have you get into the office of a Senate
for the people of Texas. This is what the type of response that they would expect from you if you had made a bad decision, if you had said something out of line, if you may have had, like, everybody learns. We all learn. It's the growth that comes with it. Listen to what you say.
Campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through.
Hold on. You said they sprang this on us in real time. Then you said you sent your motherfucking staff to dig this up and y'all got this real quick. So who's us that sprang this on us at real time? Is it your staff? Like what the fuck just happened? We can clearly go back and where you said my staff has dug into and we got the documents. Mitt Romney. But now all of a sudden, what you say? They gave this to us at the last minute. They sprang this. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. So this the gaslighting that I'm talking about. No accountability taken.
Your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC.
So I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen if this was the real Epstein. I just wanted to hit them with something, but I knew the shit wasn't true. I knew this shit wasn't true. That's why I said a Jeffrey Epstein, a Jeffrey Epstein. You get what I'm saying to you? These are the type of political games that you think you playing with the American people, and you want us to think about having people to actually look at you for a senator?
So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin...
Because it was not the same one, that's fine? No, it's not fine. No, the fuck it ain't. That's not fine. How you gonna say because it's not the same one, that's fine? Who is it fine on? Is it fine on the Jeffrey Epstein? The Dr. Jeffrey Epstein is cool with him, huh? That's fine. No, the fuck it's not. And that's not how you go about yourself in no political official manner trying to even get some type of leverage on your opposition. That's dirty work. That's dirty work playing up on the minds of those who are listening to you with harmony and thinking that what you are saying is true. Your constituents that you asking to vote for you to be the senator. That's the word playing the mind game that you play. You knew it wasn't him. Then you said, I just wanted the Republicans to think just in case, because I knew that they didn't go. What? Bitch, what are you saying?
Then had something to say. All he had to say was it was a Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now,
yes, you were. This is the gaslighting shit that I'm talking about. We just broke down how you already knew that it wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein. But yet and still, you went and said that it is Jeffrey Epstein. Just for the American people to hear it. Then when you get called out on it, you specifically said, I made sure I said that it wasn't him. Because they sprang this up on us in real time. No, your staff went to go dig this up. You went to go dig this up. Once you saw Jeffrey Epstein, it came immediately, Dr. Jeffrey Epstein. When you look at anybody motherfucking credentials, as far as motherfucking donation campaigning going on. Doctor is a title. The fuck? You mean to think that we that dumb motherfucking dumb? Yes, you did. And then when she called you out on it, you think we this motherfucking dumb. This how you think of us. You think we this motherfucking dumb to where the explanation that you giving us right now, at least I didn't And I'm not trying to mislead the American people. That's exactly what you're doing. This is what political science do tell you. When you get caught in a lie, use the lie for the excuse of why you're saying you ain't do it. You hear me? Use the same lie for at least I'm not trying to say that I fucked you over. Yes, you did fuck me over. At least I'm not trying to be in this motherfucker like I'm fucking you over. Yes, you are fucking me over. Got to be out your mind if you don't think we see through this. But keep going, Miss Felisha.
Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
A registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you searched FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do. I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex trafficker.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So, number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're talking about.
She was texting the Jeffrey Epstein. Let's get into
You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know,
all right. So they voted to make sure that her partner, Stacey Plaskett, I believe, get removed from her duties for certain duties in Congress due to the fact that she was texting Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing of Cohen about information about Epstein. He was texting her, you look pretty. Your nails look good. Your hair look good. What they saying about me? He was texting her, she's been to the island. Flat out. That's his little play partner. Go back. High-ranking member. Black lady. You get what I'm saying? That's what she bringing up now. Let's just see your taste on it. Let's see your taste on it. How you feel about it?
Pressed the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees.
Correct.
But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking.
Listen at this. Is it over? They done hacked us. They done got down in us, man. Yeah, I see what's going on. This live action. This ain't no cut.
They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there.
They know what's going on.
And honestly, we
look at it. Look, you know what I'm talking about? Look, same CPU been going on there.
Or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions? And seemingly, he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail.
Deal.
And my deal is this. the Republicans are constantly texting with a 34 count convicted felon. So if it's okay for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking.
Look at her, man. Let me, you see what I'm saying? You say 34 count convicted felon. You feel me? Baby girl. The rules of the game is this: regardless if it's a 34 count convicted felon on fraudulent charges, okay, that they stick. That's just like Cat Williams. You know what I'm talking about? People say, "Oh, Cat, you've been charged with never a felon. Been to jail a few times, never a felon." All these false charges that the courts then brought up. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is what, this is what does it for me. You have no substance under your belt. What you speak on is Trump hatred. That's all you got, Jasmine. You got Trump hatred. This thing been going for an hour. If you like this, man, you can get part 2. You know what I'm talking about? Because I got a list right here. Look, I might hit it tomorrow. I might hit this tomorrow, man. But I tell y'all what, you know what I'm talking about? This is just a little something for you to look at. This is Jasmine Crockett. You know, is it the beginning of the end? Hey, well, we know why, you was forced this hand. We know why you was forced this position. You call it gerrymandering, A lot of people call it reckoning. So we'll figure it out, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate y'all support, man. And again, man, anything, any donations, any likes, any shares, share, you know what I'm saying? Let people know. Let them know what's going on. It's that raw, uncut. Like I said, get you some popcorn, get you some drink, get you some, and then we gon' meet back. But you know what I'm talking about? We most definitely gonna have the conversations. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all, man. Close up, man. Till the casket close up. Y'all know what it is, man. Whoa.